Hello Tubesters, it's Gav, and today we are looking at yet another one of my modelling videos. There is progress on this one. Now, this is the Tiran 4 that I'm doing, which is boxed by Trumpeter, I haven't got the box with me, as the Ti-67, the Israeli tank, but it actually builds into the Tiran 4 or the Tiran 5. Tiran 5 being the Israeli, the more Israeli looking. It's got the 105mm rifle gun on. This version's has got the old Soviet 100mm. It's one of the older versions. Sorry, as I just swallow a fly there and try and pretend I'm not. Right, we haven't got all the lights on, but I'm hoping you can see everything. Yes, she's rather messy at the moment. You can see I've been plugging holes which are going to be all sanded down. There was a not very pleasant gap along here. It doesn't worry me too much because I'm going to be doing my armour texture all along that there, but I needed to obviously fill it so it wasn't too much, because with the T55 obviously you haven't got any wheels at the top, you haven't got any side skirts down, so a lot of that may just be visible. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was at least covered in. Now I'm really chuffed with this. Let's see, can we back out of it? That's about as much as we're going to get. Again, whether the fit issue, I don't think the fit issues were really down to me though this time. You can see here, but this is going to be, that gap there is going to have some weld bead put down, so I wasn't too fussed about that. But where you see me, where it's locked into place, and it does lock into place, but it leaves you with a gap at the front. Now, again, on the T55, I suppose on most tanks, you get a sharp end to the bill there, it's to the glacis plate itself. So I'm really chuffed up for once. Something seems to be going right, and I cut a piece of my plasticard and stuck it. There's not a huge gap. The gap is probably just about where I've still got a few little pinholes there. But I'm going to be sanding this down to meet the glacier plate anyway, so I'm not too fussed because it'll probably need another skimmer filler of some description, either the Magic Sculpt which I've put in here or just some Vallejo plastic putty, but I'll see about that. It's got obviously I actually prefer my weld beads than that one, to be honest with you, but I'm going to leave it on. But yeah, I stuck a piece of plastic card down because I thought, oh, you're kidding me, here we go again. And it's worked brilliantly. It's conformed to the to the down to the bottom piece of the hole, and I'm hoping you won't see too much of a step or anything when I've finished playing around with that. And obviously it's got to have armour texture on anyway, so hopefully that'll be fairly well covered. Again, round here it looks a bit khaki at the moment, so I can't get it in under the. I don't want to push the lights up anymore. But yeah, it looks a bit khaki at the moment, where there's different obviously bits where you've had to join in the hole. This was another bad point. Again, I couldn't see how I could have done it. The clamps that I'd got, if I'd have tried to put them on here, I'd have just snapped, with the power of the clamps, I'd have snapped straight through this plastic. So again, I put a fillet, a little piece of plastic card in, and slotted that in, and obviously the action of the hot glue welded it in place. And then last night I just smeared over some Magic Sculpt again in places. These I don't mind so much because they're all going to be weld beads and that type of stuff, so I'm not too fussed on that. But again, it doesn't seem to all the guys out there that this is all bread and butter, you do it all the time. When you're a newbie doing stuff, it's the fact that you managed to overcome something, that you can actually see, right, this has got a hole in, and obviously there was a big gap here. And at first I thought sprue glue, and I offered a tiny piece up, and there was no way in the world it was going to fit. And it didn't matter how hard I tried to push this down, there was a slight amount to give, but there was still quite a big gap. So I actually, the couple of pieces where the top met the bottom and did weld into action, I actually recut those out and slid me plastic card in, and join that up. And I think again with a bit of sanding, and again armour texture around, plus this is all going to have stowage and everything over it, you won't hopefully see that. I've still got to obviously sand down there was a very slight overhang here, and I've just got to sand that down a bit more yet. But again, it sounds simple, and to most of the guys out there, but I struggle so much with this type of thing, and to finally learn bits and pieces that come together, it really picks you up, So again, I know it sounds simplistic. Oh, Gav, a bit of plastic card, everybody does it. Well, Gav hasn't been able to do it yet. So no, I'm chuffed at that. What you do get with these early Trumpeter kits, so I'm only saying early because I don't know so much about the newer ones. They are always quite flashy. Again, I've got to go over it with a sander, which is why I've roughly sanded it, but they need doing better. But that's actually got to have a mud guard over the front. I'm going to leave one off though, as if it's been broken off, as this is going to be a fairly beat up tank. But yeah, you do get a lot of these. It's just inconvenient, It's not a deal breaker, when you've got a 20 quid kit, And as I said to you guys before, if I can learn on things like this, I can then bring it forward to doing the T55s that I've got, and hopefully make a decent job of them. Restart the other one that's failed, and even build. Yes, it's the same one, but even build the other one in a year or so's time. But learn your trade on things like this. So they're not going to be perfect. I know that. I ain't got the skills to do it. I'm one of these guys. Nothing comes easy, as I've said to you. I've got to work at it. The painting never came easy, and I'm not saying I'm anything like some top class painter, but I paint to a decent standard, especially with War Games figures. But it didn't come easy. You just got to keep going at it until the light bulb clicks on. I was going to. These are so rough because I was going to leave these, and then I thought, what are you doing, you fool? They could be, they can be seen quite, well, they won't be seen, but you get what I mean. If somebody's only slightly, although it's going to be on a diorama base, hopefully, and just slightly look under, and you'll see them all. So I'm going to have to attack these tonight with the sanders. But no, really impressed with that. The only thing I should have probably done was I wanted to paint it black in here. I'm toying with the idea. Let's just show you a picture if I can get it in. We've got again tight video in space with all the Napoleonic commission work I'm doing at the moment. But I'll have to hold. Sorry about this, guys. But see the blue one. That's what I'm not copying it, but this is what I'm using as my ideas. There are very few. There's a guy famous for doing Middle Eastern books on modelling books and stuff for these type of all types of vehicle from the Lebanon and around there. Samir, and I can't remember his second name, I do apologise. He's got a book out on these, but again, it's finances, it's how many books. I mean, this book itself was sent to me by my mate Frederick, and Frederick, it's been a godsend, a real help. As I've said to you guys before, this is on mainly using the T55 mini art kits, and this is an AK book. And as you can see, these are the ones that it covers. In fact, it covers two more in there, I think. Yeah, there's two more in there that you haven't seen on the back. But there's so many techniques you can take away from the builds in here and use them on any type of tank. Yeah. So Frederick, again, I'm always going to this book, and you don't know how much you've helped me on that, Mara. So thank you very much. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. On that one, you'll see that there's the hatches are open. Well, of course, obviously it's a mini art interior build, or even partial interiors. If you go and see my mate Frederick, he's done a T55 with an Angolan look to it. Well, it is Angolan, and he's done a lovely diorama village scene with it. His is not the full interior, but if you see his build videos, you'll notice they give you. It almost is, apart from the engine. His driver's position was the same as mine. I believe most of the turret basket and everything was exactly the same as mine. Ammo storage. And when I say mine, sorry guys, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, I tried to have a go at a T55 mini art kit, full interior, and fell on my face. Just in case anybody's not seen that, go and check out. I will probably link at the end of the video, my modelling builds, modelling car crashes, tank crashes, aircraft crashes. We haven't had many successes yet on this channel, but yeah, I would have preferred to have posed them with the turrets open, with the idea that I've got from my little diorama, but of course I'm going to be looking straight into cavernous holes, so they're probably going to have to be buttoned up. I'm toying with the idea of how to work around it at the moment, but yeah, I was going to paint all that black, and I still will. I'm just going to give it a spray over in black. This will have another deck on top with more grills, so hopefully you won't see as much inside. But yeah, I'm gonna spray that as much black around that as I can. As I say, it's a bit silly, really. I didn't think about it at the time, I must confess. But yeah, just to, obviously we don't want to be looking at shiny green plastic. If it's not buttoned up, the turret hatches aren't buttoned up, but I still don't know 100% if you'll see into any of the engine deck. So that's our main bit of progress there. I've decided, looking at that book, I'd chobble away at my wheels as well. I've put a bit of, they're shiny, but I'll put a bit of glue on them as well, just to tidy them up afterwards. Smooth the edges out slightly. Again, they're shining away a bit, but if you can see, I've chipped the tyres. I'll just dig a couple more out. You always tell when Gav's impressed at his own work. See, I've used this. I've got a couple of routers, and well, it's a milling thing, I think they say it is, but again, really scuff that up. These are supposed to be there. This is part of the rubber on the tyres, and they always go round like this. So yeah, you know, done a load of bumps and scuffs, some more than others, you know, just to show, you know, they're not all the same. But yeah, so that's our back view, that's our front view. Be interesting to see what they look like when they're painted up. Now, my other only problem was I decided to stick them together and do them all as one. Now, when you look at that, you're now wondering, Gav, I hope you can I hope I can actually spray through that. I might have made a mistake, not painting them separately, but we'll see. What can possibly go wrong? But we live and learn, hopefully. So guys, that's my progress on I'm calling it a Tiran 4. It's just easier for people to remember than the Israeli TI-67. And when you say it that way, most people haven't ever heard of it. That was, I believe, the TI-67 was actually like a Western stroke NATO. Well, I don't even think it's NATO, but a reporting. They call it reporting, you know, code for it. Most people that deal with armour will know the TI-4, 5, 6, 7s and all. They've got so many different, the Israelis have got so many different types. And I put a bit of weld on there as well. Again, my weld texturing, that covered a gap there, and I thought, well, rather than fill it, and I should have probably filled it and then done it, but if I filled it, I'd have only had to rescribe it and then put weld bead in, so that's probably a bit on the heavy side. But again, all we can do is learn. So thank you very much. My mate Greg Riley tried to help me out again by sending me he was going to send me a barrel, but it turned out that his metal barrel he was going to send me was the Israeli 105, and I needed a smooth bore, so he sent me a link, and yeah, I've gone and bought myself a metal gun barrel. He's costing me a fortune. Fortune I don't have. Although, to be honest with you, I think it was about £7 all in. RB barrel from Poland. I think it was about £7. I'm hoping it was around £7. So guys, thank you very much. Greg, thanks for helping me spend my money. It's much appreciated. The wife isn't chuckling downstairs at the moment, believe me. You notice when the wife is in, the price of things goes down slightly. You try and polish it a bit. So guys, thanks for stopping by and taking a look at the first vlog and progress on the Tiran 4. I don't know what progress you'll see next. As I say, I tend to bounce along, do things, realise I've missed something out, or start questioning myself. Like those wheels now, I'm thinking, you know, if they were solid wheels, it wouldn't be a problem spraying some paint on them. But as they've got holes through, am I going to be able to spray? Is the paint going to get through there without looking like we've got shiny plastic? Oh dear. We live and learn. Anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. I hope, I keep saying that, well, we are in bad times. I hope your modelling and your figure painting is going well. You're not too stressed and you're enjoying the hobby, because it really is it's a brilliant hobby for taking your mind away from things, and for, you know, meeting and meeting people and sharing ideas and stuff. So I for one really appreciate my modelling and my figure painting. I hope you do too. So you take care of yourselves, guys. We'll catch each other very soon on another video.